Happy Thursday. Hopefully you all are having a great and wonderful day. Alright, so I'm going to try to keep this video relatively short, simple, sweet, and straight to the point. This is my first one in the series revolving around Carnivore. Gonna be running out with some bow and arrows, some hatchets. I gotta go after a bunch of chickens, cows. I gotta hunt down some, some deer, right? Actually, no, I'm not going to be doing any of that crazy nonsense. I'm just going to go to the grocery store. As a reminder, everything I talk about in this video is going to be down below in the description, and I'll go ahead and put some stuff as a top pinned comment to this video as well, which makes it very easy and accessible for you all to click and really follow other areas of videos I have posted, along with some case studies that I'm going to be showing in this video as well. But if you've been following me for the last 6 months-ish now, I ended up going public back in middle of December. Did a fundraiser for a research lab, Dr. Wimes' laboratory, and I've been following his dietary management approach to polycystic kidney disease, which isn't the normal version of a kidney disease. This involves cysts that end up growing and growing on your kidneys, and the treatment revolves in being a very low-carb state, such as a state of ketosis, where your body uses fat for fuel and not blood sugar, glucose, as fuel. There's different variations of ways you can do that by going on a keto diet, which I did for 4.5 months from August of last year up until December. And then from January up until late April, a couple months ago, I ended up doing Ketovore, which is a blend of keto and carnivore. And now, since I just posted my results, which was out of this world, utterly amazing data, yes, it appears that, I've halted my kidney disease progression. And I'm gonna see what Carnivore really does, because I got data for keto for about nearly 5 months. I got data on a blend for nearly 5 months. And now I'm gonna be doing straight Carnivore for probably the next 4 months, 5 months-ish, and get some good data. So, to sum it up, this is Carnivore versus Polycystic Kidney Disease number 1. And why am I doing this? Because I really want to find a style of eating that I can sustain long-term without, any complications. To really break that down, and by the way, I'm not here, preaching that every single person should be on a keto diet, carnivore diet, or low-carb type of diet. I am by all means not a cultist. Believe it or not, I'm actually in a online program to become a health coach. Oh yes, NightmareRH becoming a health coach. What does that mean, or what does that do? It doesn't really do anything or change anything in for the terminology. Anyone can talk about nutrition on the internet. Anyone can make videos talking about nutrition, talking about medical stuff, going over case studies. It's not illegal. What is my credibility? Well, I've been doing this now for about close to about a year. I have halted my kidney disease progression, so therefore I definitely know a thing or two, especially doing a lot of banger interviews with great researchers out there. And if you know anyone that is suffering with kidney-related issues, definitely show them this playlist, because I go over a lot of things that has really saved my kidney health. I was looking at renal failure, kidney failure in my mid-40s, aka 10 years, and the kidneys aren't, they're not growing. It's absolutely insane, utterly insane. And there are a lot of people out there suffering right now that can really benefit from this type of treatment, that are unaware that if you change your diet, you can really do it. But going back to what I was saying, becoming a health coach is just really something going on my wall of accomplishments, and to say, hey, I'm a little bit more credible. Sorry, but I am not going to medical school, and my Dumas can never take those courses, ever. I am extremely grateful that I ended up graduating with a bachelor's degree in marketing. Had a lot of issues in the mathematics class. Everything else, I'm good, but no, mathematics, no, absolutely never. Never again. So, why am I doing this? Because I believe that there is a proper human diet for each and every single person out there. You just really got to find what diet works for you. And I really want to go ahead and document my experience. I did keto for 4.5 months. It was awesome. It utterly took my blood pressure from the 140s and the 90s down to below 120, below 80 relatively quick. But I was constipated all the time. Like, legitimately bloated all the time. I was eating non-starchy veggies every single day. My protein was all animal source. A lot of chicken, tuna, red meat once in a while. But I was literally dealing with constipation. Is living like that sustainable? No, I don't like being clogged up the pooper, and I also don't like being bloated. It's not fun, and it's not sustainable. I did Ketovore for 4.5 months. The constipation went away. I replaced the lean meat with just red meat. So I was very much carnivore kind of based in a way. However, the thing about it is that I was still very, very hungry. And I think it was because I was very much still maybe dealing with some blood sugar issues. I'm not entirely certain, but on the screen, you basically see Ketovore. It's a hard blend of kind of carnivore and keto. I was using avocado oil mayonnaise on Ketovore. I got rid of the daily salad and just replaced it with like more meat in a way. My daily protein intake hasn't really changed at all. But otherwise, yeah, I really want to see what the standard carnivore kind of really does for me, which consists of meat, poultry, fish, seafood, eggs, some dairy, tea, and coffee. I'm not doing the strict version, which is called the Lion Diet, because I am eating fatty meats. But one thing that I'm not doing is I'm not consuming really any type of like carbohydrates. So my total carbs are 0. And I've been like this now for a couple weeks, and well, my hunger is pretty much gone away. So, yes, why am I doing this? Because I would really like to see how I can treat polycystic kidney disease and what is the best optimal way of eating for me long term. And there's a lot of people out there that are suffering with this as well, and a lot of people end up stopping this management program because they don't try different variations to see which ones work for them. And that's very unfortunate. Like I said, I'm not here saying everyone should be doing keto, everyone should be doing carnivore. By all means, you could very well eat probably maybe whatever you want. You just got to be a gym rat. Kind of like how I was all throughout my 20s and early 30s. But I did not make sugar, aka the sodas, and the chunky monkeys into a habit. 2.5 years, I literally made sugar into a habit, and my kidneys, well, they started growing. Diving a little deeper now into what is pretty much carnivore. To sum it up, it's just a deeper state of a ketogenic diet. This is a good article, or rather I should say publication. I'll go ahead and throw this in the top pinned comment as well, along with some other stuff, but talks about the benefits of a ketogenic diet, and you can have benefits from reducing inflammation, such as reducing arthritis pain, nerve pain. I've noticed a lot of less inflammation, less arthritis flare-ups, a lot less nerve pain myself. You can go ahead and take down blood pressure. You can reverse type 2 diabetes. You can go ahead and go from being severely obese to being obese, and then from obese to being very skinny. Yes, But the standard American diet, as you basically see a breakup of carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Therapeutic ketogenic diet obviously is a lot more fat. I'm doing a 2-to-1 fat to protein ratio on the carnivore diet. I'll go ahead and tap that in a little more. But a standard keto diet, you basically have very few amounts of carbohydrates in your daily calories intake, and you're focusing primarily around fat and also protein. So moving more into deeper carnivore, you're just pretty much like removing the carbohydrates. There are people that do consume some carbohydrates, primarily from dairy, such as milk or heavy cream. Me personally, I'm kind of really staying away entirely because I want to see how my body does, especially with blood work and especially images for polycystic kidney disease. Maybe by being 0 complete total carbohydrates, yes, no fiber as well. That's a shocker, but we can talk about that a little more in a separate video. But I can tell you that, well, sometimes removing the fiber for a lot of people, it fixes the issue. And I had plenty of fiber on the keto diet, and it was not doing good for my digestive system. But yes, there are different variations of what you can be doing when you do carnivore, whether you can have some carbs, like I said, from heavy cream. But for me, in a typical meal, it kind of looks something like this. Here is a prime example of something that I absolutely love for my first meal out of the day. And for me, I'm in a kind of different situation than a lot of people, so I do consume 3 meals a day. A lot of people doing these types of diets, they're doing it for kind of like weight loss. And some people, they only do 2 or 1 meals a day. But for me, my first meal, I can go ahead and eat eggs every single day for the rest of my life. I love eggs so much. They are so nutritious. Not to mention, I do eat a lot of them. And we can definitely talk about how eggs are not our enemy. They're definitely our friend. And here's a typical, like, meal that you can do on carnivore. Just salt, butter, grass-fed butter, and then you got your eggs. You cook your eggs in butter, not oil, such as, like, seed oils. Please stay away from those. Do research on them. Very destructive over long time use. But yeah, just grass-fed butter, cooking some eggs, or I should say 6 eggs, and using some more butter on the side, right here and here. Prime example of what a carnivore meal basically pretty much is. Protein, fat, along with no carbohydrate. And another prime example of basically just protein and fat is simply more butter, more eggs, and then just some grass-fed ground beef. If you can find 70-30 for your ground beef, you are in awesome condition. I actually got to go down to my local butcher shop and pay a hefty dandy amount, but it definitely comes out pretty luxurious. I'm using Chronometer. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. You don't have to pay money for it. I'm not being sponsored by them. I don't have a coupon code or anything at all. I apologize. But it is a really great way to look up the nutritional value. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty much like Carnivore 101. Just primarily protein and fat, removal of carbohydrates, and propelling your body into a higher level of a anti-inflammatory state. And for a lot of people, it works wonders. Now, I will say last week when I actually did post my PKD result video, and I said I was going to be doing carnivore, I actually did get quite a few messages from people that said it's dangerous. I'm gonna potentially kill myself. A lot of crazy things, which kind of really shocked me. Because last December, 6 months ago, when I first posted stuff publicly, I got a lot of people messaging me on how, hey, being low carb might not be the best for your health, blah, blah, blah. A lot of people are just very much uneducated. And they're just unaware that, well, one, we're actually born into ketosis, which means our body is using fat for fuel, rather than blood sugar. And we tend to actually break ketosis as like a baby, typically on something like soft, maybe either baby food or maybe even like a banana or something. But yes, ketosis is nothing scary. Not to mention, if you go without eating food for a day, you're gonna temporarily go into ketosis whether you want to or not. But I had some people reach out to me saying that no carb is actually very dangerous because our cells in our body needs carbohydrates. That is true. Yes. If our cells in our body does not get carbohydrates, we die. So why am I not dead? Because for the last month now, I have not consumed any carbohydrates. Well, it is because of this beautiful thing. I'm not going to try to pronounce this. I can't pronounce it. What do you want from me? Just look at the word right here. This word, gluconeogenesis. Maybe I just said it correctly. I don't know. What does this mean? Well, our livers are so incredible. Did I say livers? I mean our liver. Yes, we only got one liver. But we abuse our liver so much by chemicals, drugs, alcohol. Believe it or not, and someone who's a full-blown alcoholic for many years, their liver can grow like very big in size. And if they stop drinking alcohol, your liver can actually retract and self-heal. The liver is so amazing. We don't even really know what else the capabilities of it actually does. A lot of scientists are just left wondering what truly goes on inside. But this word is basically our liver creating carbohydrates. Yes, our liver makes carbohydrates, aka our bodies create carbohydrates. So therefore, if somebody ever says to you, hey, doing carnivore is dangerous, your body needs carbohydrates, two things are happening. One, they're either being a troll and trying to trick you to see if you're a Dumas, or two, they're just really not educated in this area. But, yeah, I mean, our liver creates carbohydrates, which is basically just absolutely unbelievable that our organ actually makes food for ourselves, essentially. And this is on Google. Here is a case study, or I should say, this is a publication on National Library of Medicine. I'll leave this in the description down below. You can go ahead and read all about gluconeogenesis. Please troll the hell out of me. I can't pronounce this word. But yeah, it's actually pretty remarkable. Our livers produce carbohydrates. So by me being in a zero carb state, it's not like detrimental. Think with common sense before we had grocery stores. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of years ago when hunters and gatherers lived maybe a little more than a couple hundred years ago. Maybe like 1,000 years ago, or maybe even before. People that lived in the woods, let's say Northern America states, what did they eat during the winter? Because obviously plants are luxuries. They weren't eating plants during snowstorms. They were storing protein and fat. So therefore, they were not ingesting carbohydrates, aka from plants or just, yeah, well, back then, they didn't have ice cream back then. I can definitely tell you that for sure. But the point that I'm saying is that going into a no-carb state, there's a lot of fear around this for some reason. And yeah, I've actually noticed a very stabilization in my blood sugar for the last month now, and it's pretty remarkable. But please, if you are in a situation where your health is not going very well and you need to change up your diet, definitely look into these types of eating. I highly recommend people start with keto, see how you do, see how you feel. And then, hey, if you're still experiencing problems, maybe move it along. But I'm a very big advocator of getting blood work and images, especially for whatever issue you have out there, so you can learn your body. And now, lastly, what do I hope to gain from this journey? Well, there are hundreds, maybe even potentially thousands of YouTubers or just people on YouTube that post success stories. I've been watching this guy for a while now, Homestead How, and this dude is actually making a documentary filming people's success stories on a carnivore style lifestyle that have healed their body. I might actually be doing an interview with him in the near future, as well with some other people as well too. Really hope that I can actually do interviews with people that have really healed their body, but you can just type it in on YouTube. People that have healed themselves with a ketogenic diet, with a carnivore diet, being an omnivore, which is a blend of carnivore and kind of like keto in a way. You're just not eating veggies on a daily basis. You're eating maybe veggies once or twice like a week and stuff. A lot of people end up doing carnivore because they need a elimination of everything to really like heal their bodies. And that's just, you got to do what you need to do for your body. You got to self-heal, brother or sister. Of course, if you want someone highly credible, more credible than me, check out Dr. Ken Berry. If you watch his playlist, he has, I actually saw this, lowering blood pressure, hypertension fix. This was actually the first video that I saw last year. Actually more than about last year, about 1 year and couple weeks. I saw this video and it started everything. So I mean, Dr. Ken Berry's content has saved my life. Dr. Wimes' research has definitely saved my life as well. And there are just so many success stories of people healing their bodies. But ultimately, what do I hope to really gain? I hope to gain great data from doing this. I want to see what happens to my blood work. I want to see the imaging results of doing carnivore for a solid 4 or 5 months. I will be doing an ultrasound, not another MRI, but I mean, my MRI that I went over in this video compared to my MRI that I went over in this one, my MRI that I got in May of 2024 versus April a couple months ago, my progression has stopped. And on paper, it shows one of my kidneys have kind of gotten a little smaller. So I'm kind of really hoping my ultrasound shows really great results, because my ultrasound in December showed 16.1 centimeters and 14.2 centimeters. So we're going to see, what carnivore can do. But I'll be posting quite a bit of this content, especially for this playlist. If you are not part of the polycystic kidney disease community, aka the RuneScape community or some other community out there, please take in consideration that there are a lot of people suffering. And by me doing this and providing data, especially to researchers, this can definitely go to a case study, which can help people stay on track to their goals and their self-healing journey. I'm extremely lucky that this is working for me, because I'm not going to lie, I was actually a skeptic about a year ago. And 1 year ago, I was battling the urge to just honestly get blackout drunk on a daily basis. Yeah, it was not good. I love you all. Hope to see you soon. Like I said, if you know anyone suffering, definitely point them to this playlist. If you are a zombie fan out there, check out my book on Amazon. A lot of you have bought it and are asking me to do a sequel. I'm a little busy right now, but I will say the book does leave on a cliffhanger, and I might be doing a sequel relatively soon. Otherwise, love you all once again. New video in a couple days, and later.